This video is all about the burial of late dictator Ferdinand Emmanuel Ederlin Marcos Sr. at the libingan ng mga bayani, and how we gonna explain our side as in favor that Ferdinand is not a hero and he is just a dictator for 14 years.
According to HRW.org, the Philippine Supreme Court has ruled that President Rodrigo Roa Duterte can provide a hero's burial for Ferdinand Marcos, whose dictatorial presidency from 1965 to 1986 involved rampant killing, torture, enforced disappearances, and arbitrary arrest. Duterte doing this to justify that honor on the basis that it would be promote healing among Filipino and erase people's one hatred. In 1972, Marcos declared martial law which put the country on a path to dictatorship. This is the reason why many people get angry and disappointed when former President Ferdinand Marcos buried in the Hero Cemetery. Many people disagree with it because Marcos is not a hero. Instead, he only a dictator which bring a country from war and chaos. That's why many people get anger of Ferdinand Marcos. In time of Marcos, people didn't have freedom of many things. Many people seeking for justice and want a right to choose and have freedom without dictating from it.
Ferdinand Emmanuel Ederlin Marcos Sr. was a Filipino politician who had been elected as the 10th President of the Philippines in 1965. Who ruled as a dictator for 14 years but declared martial law in 1972 before his constitutionally allowed term was over, holding to power until his overthrown by the People Power Revolution in 1986. In 1989, he died in Honolulu, Hawaii, and his family repatriated his body in 1933 and has stored it in a refrigerated crypt in his hometown in Ilocos Norte, and buried November 18, 2016 at the libingan ng mga bayani. The burial of the late Philippine dictator Ferdinand Marcos at the Cemetery of Heroes has been a controversial issue as objectors, including victims of human rights violations during the dictator's brutal period of rule and participants of the People Power Revolution, have opposed attempts to bury Marcos, citing the rampant corruption and cronyism of his administration. Its practice of silencing dissent through arrest, disappearances, and torture by the police and military, and his family's infamous kleptocracy amounting to an estimated $10 billion worth of stolen money that earned Ferdinand and his wife Imelda the Guinness World Record for the greatest thief of a government. Opinion on his burial were split. 50% of the 1,800 respondents of a survey conducted by the SWS in February 2016 said that Marcos is worthy to be buried at the libingan ng mga bayani, while the other half rejected at hero's burial. The protesters never agreed that Fem is a hero, and I am in favor with that because Marcos' 14 years as dictator is historically remembered for its record or human rights abuses, particularly targeting political opponents, students, activists, journalists, religious farmers, and others who fought against the Marcos dictatorship. Based on the documentation of Amnesty International Task Force detainees of the Philippines and similar human rights monitoring entities, historians believe that the Marcos dictatorship was marked by 3,257 known extrajudicial killings, 35,000 documented tortured, 77 disappeared, and 70,000 incarceration. These abuses did not let up until the People Power Revolution of 1986 forced Marcos out of office. The Philippine government should be seeking accountability and redress for Marcos victims rather than honoring the man ultimately responsible. Doing so would also send a strong message to today's violators of human rights that they too will face justice even if it is a long time coming. And I do believe that Marcos is not a hero. Though he's worthy to buried at libing ng mabayani, but he is not a hero, but he is just a dictator for 14 years.